Today, we're talking about offers. If you want to sell your product or service effortlessly, you need to make your offers irresistible. So let's go over the 5 main ideas of the book $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi that will massively improve your business. After watching this video, the way you offer your product may change forever. You'll make offers so good that people may feel stupid saying no. The way we can get started getting these results is by creating a value-driven offer instead of a commodity offer. What most people do when presenting their service is to look at what others are doing, copy it, and do it cheaper. The problem with that is that pretty soon, someone else will look at your offer the same thing, and do it for even cheaper than you. So now you have to lower your price in order to compete. This is what we call the race to the bottom. This becomes very unsustainable very quickly, and you end up working more and more and making less and less. To create a value offer, you don't need to change your service. You can have the same service, the same product, and the same deliverables, and only change the way you present it to your customer that makes it feel unique and cannot be compared to any other service. In other words, it feels like you are selling in a vacuum. For example, I had a friend who started a short-form content business. He would go to businesses and edit videos for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. Now, this business was not unique. There are lots of businesses that provided this service. But while others were charging $500 or $1,000 per month to edit videos while competing with others on price, my buddy took a different approach. He went to companies and instead of charging $1,000 per month, he would charge a one-time fee of $6,000 to his clients with no monthly fee. But he guaranteed his work. He would tell his future clients, I charge $6,000 for my services and I will get you 100,000 followers in the next 90 days. And if I don't, I will work for free until I do. The genius of this offer was that he did not offer video services, which is a commodity offer. He offered a result, the 100,000 followers. Not only that, he had a killer guarantee. If I can't do it in 90 days, I'll work for free until I do. What ended up happening was that he closed more people because his offer was better. He collected 6 months worth of money up front while the rest of the agencies had to work 6 months to collect it, and he was able to grow his business faster because he had upfront capital. But having a unique pricing strategy isn't enough to make an offer irresistible. Imagine you start a hot dog business. Your hot dogs are not the most special, but they're pretty good. So you take your hot dog stand and set up shop right in front of a restaurant. People walk by, but they don't buy anything. So you go home very sad because the people coming out of the restaurant did not buy your hot dogs. But the next day, you decide to take a different approach. Instead of setting up in front of the restaurant, you set up shop at midnight in front of a bar. And you sell out within an hour. But why? Quite simple, right? Because you have a starving market. An important part of creating an irresistible offer is to find the right people to see it. The hot dogs will not look appealing to someone who just came out of the restaurant, but will look amazing to a hungry bargoer at midnight, even if the hot dog itself isn't that special. You see, there are 4 main components that we must take into account in order to find the right market that will make selling our product easier. Number 1. Massive pain. You want to find those people who don't just want it, but desperately need what you offer. Pain can be anything that frustrates people in their lives, and humans have lots of different types of pain. For an entrepreneur, this means endless opportunity. Number 2, purchasing power. You may be able to find the people who have a pain you can solve, but if they cannot pay for the solution, it would be pretty difficult to build a business. Number 3, easy to target. Let's say that you have a great market in mind, but you don't really know who they are or how to find them. Then it would be pretty difficult to make an offer. You want to be able to identify who they are and know where to find them, so you can make an offer that is specific to them. Number 4, organically growing. Imagine you have a marketing agency with the best strategies to improve sales, but your clients are newspapers. Even if your product or service is amazing, if your market is shrinking, so will your business. You want a market that is getting bigger. You know what they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. Many people got wealthy because they joined a newly growing market early, even when their product was not the best, because the market was growing. So, how do you identify this ideal market? There are many markets out there in the world, but there are three major markets that will always exist: health, wealth, and relationships. The reason why these markets have always existed and will likely always exist is due to human nature. There is always tremendous pain when we lack either of these. Being broke is painful. Being alone is painful. Being sick is painful. But in order to find your ideal market, we must go a little deeper. Each of these markets have categories, and those categories have subcategories, and those subcategories have micro-categories. The goal is to find one of those subgroups inside of these categories that has a specific pain you can solve, can pay for your service, is easy to target, and is naturally growing. For example, let's say that you are a relationship expert trying to find your market. Who would be a better market? Coaching people over 65 or helping college students in relationships? Believe it or not, people over 65 may be a better market. Why? Because senior citizens who are alone suffer more pain as they get older. They have more buying power than a college student does. They are easy to find, and currently, there are more people turning 65 in the US than turning 20. Okay, but what if you can't find a market that is growing like crazy? Can you still make this work? It is unlikely that you will be in a dying market, like newspapers. It is also unlikely that you will be in a buying frenzy, like selling toilet paper during COVID. The most likely scenario is that you will be in a normal market, one that isn't shrinking, but it isn't growing like crazy either. And that is okay. There is a lot of money that can be made in normal markets. The goal is to avoid the dying markets at all costs, because no matter how great your offer is, if the market is dying, there will be no one to take your offer. You see, there are three main levers that play a part in the success of your business. Number one, the market you're in. Number two, the strength of your offer. And number three, your persuasion skills. If you have a great market, like selling hot dogs in front of a bar at 2 a.m., you will have a mob of drunken people ready to buy your hot dogs. When you have a starving market, you don't really need to be great at persuasion skills or even have a good offer. Your product will sell because you have a starving market looking for your product. Now, if you are in a normal market, which this will be most of us, you won't sell too much by simply existing. You will sell by having a great offer that makes your service feel unique and valuable, even if you're not the best at persuasion. This is also true if you reverse these skills. If you have a normal market and an okay offer, the way to do well is if you are exceptionally good at persuasion. This is typically the hardest path to follow as it requires lots of practice to get good. This is why having a great offer, even if you're in a normal market, is the easiest way to start improving your business. Okay, but what if you have a good market and you feel like you have a good offer, but it hasn't clicked yet? You see, too often a new entrepreneur tries one offer to one market and it doesn't make them $1 million. So they mistakenly think this is a bad market. Then they switch to a different market and start over. But most often than not, this is not the problem. They just haven't applied the right offer to the right person. You must stick to your market long enough to have trial and error. By doing this, you get to the specifics of that market and find where the riches are. You know what they say, riches are in the niches. And this is why. Imagine you are a time management expert and you sell a generic course on time management. Unless you are a massive time management guru with millions of followers and a compelling story, it is unlikely that you can turn this into something unique or significant. A generic course will become just another time management course that struggles to sell for $29 because most of this information can be found for free on the internet. But what if we make this product more specific? What if we keep the same principles, but we call it time management for sales professionals, and we market to only those in the sales industry? This could be a $99 product. By providing this program specifically to sales professionals, this becomes more valuable to them because if this program helps them make even one more sale per month, it would be well worth the price. But what if we take it a step further? What if we call our product Time Management for B2B Outbound Sales Reps? We know that many B2B salespeople have a deal commission structure, and time management could potentially increase their sales, and even a single sale can net a salesperson $500 or more. We can comfortably price this product at $499 and still have it be a great value. But let's take it one step further. What if we named our product Time Management for B2B Outbound Sales Reps for Construction Machinery and Tools? Now let's pause it and think about it for a second. If you were a B2B sales rep for construction machinery and tools, you would think this is exactly for me. People would be happy to pay $1,000, $2,000 or more for a time management program that is specifically designed for them, because it could help them achieve a specific goal that the coach understands, and the value can potentially exceed the price of the program. The actual pieces of the program may be the same as the $29 course, but since they have been applied and adapted to a very specific avatar, they will find it more compelling and get more value from it in an actual real way. For example, a few years ago, I started working with a few people who wanted to start a YouTube channel. Now, I wasn't very specific about the market, so my advice was a little more generic so it can apply to everybody. My client results were pretty good, but not the best. Then I started working only with informational YouTube channels. This made it easier for me to coach and more effective for my clients to do, because I could build a framework that would be consistent to my one avatar. And my clients started getting much better results. Some even got their silver play button for 100,000 followers. The strategies were the same, but I adapted them to their specific needs. And since I worked with a specific type of clients, results were more consistent. But then I took it a little further, and I started working with coaches and course creators. The delivery was much easier with much better results, because the value a course creator gets from an audience is significantly higher than a general YouTuber. Which, by the way, if you're a coach or a course creator or want to be and would like some help growing your YouTube audience, click on the link in the description and it'll take you to a quick 30-second application, and I'll send over a Google Docs page with all the details on how you can grow your audience on YouTube as a course creator. Okay, if you read this book, you know that this book is packed with so much information. This whole video is literally only the first 4 chapters. So I'll be making part 2 in the next couple of weeks, so make sure to subscribe and tap the bell button to not miss part 2 of the $100 million offer breakdown.